Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be FUT Champs on the alt account, and we've got something exciting to announce. This account now has Team of the Year, Cold Palmer. This is an untradeable card, so I'm going to be using him for quite a while. This is not the formation, don't worry chat. We're going to line up in a 4-4-1-1, which isn't the formation I've really been going with, but we're going to test it. It's just how things are right now. The two center mids are in the wrong spot. Of course, Nagasato, maybe not the strongest CM, but kind of the only player I can get at striker to move down to CM. Of course, Dino right now up top without the rule plus anything at all. So we're just going to see how this weekend goes. I'm getting like all of the top tier, highest rated cards in I can, and then we're just going to see how it goes. So I'm not too worried about the results this weekend. Post-patch, I've had some struggles. I've not enjoyed the game too much, so we're just going to see how it goes, and I'm going to try to make this as light and as fun as possible. I think that's my focus this weekend. I might get back to like some heavier competitive stuff in the future, but for right now, it's Team of the Year weekend. Let's just get some Team of the Year worthy goals, right? So, of course, we're starting this 4-5-1, but we're going to move back to the 4-4-1-1. I'm trying out Cole Palmer on Classic 10 first, which I haven't really tried out yet. We're probably going to move him back to Shadow Striker, especially because I don't have any movement with Dino up top. But we're going to do our best, and we'll see how this goes. So, wish me luck, everybody. Yeah, I think you'll see in some of these, just that kind of like playstyle analysis, all that. I'm playing a little bit more direct this weekend. And of course, again, easier opponent. It's able to work in this specific game, so it's maybe not the best example, but you can see just a little direct, a little bit just kind of focus on going forward. You know, it looks like the space is there. I'm going into the space. I'm not doing anything to really jag them out. That's exactly what the opponent's doing there. I can't believe that win in over the slide tackle and everything, but same kind of thing here. We've got a sprint, another player sprinting from deep. Well, there's Dino from deep. That's a little bit more creativity. It's still a bit direct. And again, I don't have to criticize in this game because it's one of the easier matches. But hey, I think that's going to be a running theme. What a finish on the first time, Palmer. But I think that's going to be a bit of a theme this weekend. And so it's just finding my own way to play, finding my own, you know, it's my style. It's my very specific imprint. Tattoo, whatever, like something I want to leave on the field. I want my mark left. I want it to look like my game. Because that's where my strengths are. My strengths aren't playing the game like everybody else. It's very specifically, you know, trying to slow the game down and work some of my specific dribbling angles or anything like that. So I think I do that so much better in the main account. So I'll have that up probably the day after this one. So, you know, 24 hours, you should be able to catch that one. But yeah, we'll talk about that as we get to it. But this one, I just want to say, I'm almost two different players this year. So for one, I think I allow the opponents to control the game a little bit too much. You know, if they're direct, sometimes I'll just be direct right back down the field to them. And no, I want to slow the game down. I want to make it less open. Because if it's kind of end-to-end, that's not where my strengths are. That suits the opponent's strong suit. But if I'm slowing it down, and then they've got no pace in their counterattack, then I'm nerfing them a little bit on their attacks and, you know, only giving myself a benefit too. Nice little shot cancel there from Lookman. Against some goalie movement and everything too. We get to finish near post, but oh, what happens in yeah, and that's poor for me. I feel a little unlucky about that, but it's that kind of stuff too. When it's in game, it's you're just a little bit frustrated. That could have gone differently, and then you look at it at the back, and it's like, well, that was kind of poor. I did deserve that in a sense. So this one, wild by the way, first time over the shoulder, left-footed cross, volley cross from Lookman right to Dino. Can't believe that pass is playable, but but yeah, there's almost two sides of me. There's a little bit too direct. There's me getting a little too tunnel visioned. Maybe I'm a little bit tired. Maybe I'm just missing some things. I'm not playing at my best, and then I just kind of lose some of the senses of me. And I think I need to, even when I'm not playing well, still find a way to do it my way. Make sure I'm doing my style and all that. But then there's a side of me that just will absolutely obliterate opponents by finding every opportunity, just making so many gaps. That's Christian Pulisic. I believe, you know, definitely not Tech Plus. I don't think he's got Tech Basic. He might. But I couldn't believe how powerful that Tech was anyway. Yeah, just making sure I'm really finding greater benefits in a lot of these games. Because these ones that are so close when they're 4-4, 3-4, or anything like that, it's just too terse. And then... my word, it's the bounces that almost do me in this weekend. Thank you, Lev Yashin, for the save, but the fact you almost could concede one like that, you know. Then here's me being direct right back. Is it going to work? It is. That's a little power shot, Lookman, but I don't think you're seeing a lot of this stuff. This stuff, man. This is where I'm better. you see how much more effective this attack is, and then just the trickster fake shot rolls it perfectly. Now, I missed my shot up with some of the goalie movement and all that. Definitely could do a little bit better, but this is where my attacks... see, this is what I'm talking about. There's two sides of me. There's two different versions of me. And even, okay, like the first attack hasn't worked, the second attack hasn't worked. I'm getting a little frustrated in-game. Okay, we get some luck. Two versions of luck here. Interceptions I don't really necessarily deserve, and then that pass was meant to go to Palmer. It goes to Lookman. Again, a little luck. But it's this where I'm so much better. Slow the game down, allow my players to get in the box, do that little, tiki-taka movement around the top, and then just working a shot cancel, working a skill move, anything like that. This here, we've got the same. What am I doing? I'm getting multiple players involved. I'm working the angles. I'm finding whatever's going to be most effective. And then there's the goalie movement again. But it's just the goalie movement that's ruining me in this game. I'm okay if it's just the finishing I mess up on. You know what? I can hold my hands in the air. It's finishing this year. You know what? I guess I could buy a better finishing card if I wanted to. But, it's not that big of a deal. And then, of course, Cole Palmer. Nice little McGeady cancel. And then you just work the space to get that finesse shot far post. That one's not really going to be saved, even with some goalie movement usually, but that's poor for me. That's just way too direct. And then Company runs past him, so that was frustrating too. But anyway, but it's just that kind of, you're seeing two very, very distinct sides of me. And if I always play my specific style, except for the games where it's obviously like a guarantee, again, those very easy opening games or just your opponent's too aggressive with their defenders, and then you get these chances, this kind of thing here. It's direct. It works in this case. I try to force it way too much when it doesn't. And again, you're not going to see too much of that on the other account. So it's just, I've got to find some way to make sure I'm always doing this in game. Because this is how my formation is set up. This is where my players are meant to be. I don't really get the benefit of that 4-3-3 when like they're kind of crashing the box at the end immediately. The left mid and the right mid, can't believe Yashin doesn't get that, by the way. But the left mid and the right mid are designed to almost stay wide, come central, and then get wide again. Or, excuse me. Stay wide, or start wide, come central, and then get into the box. Whereas the wingers are almost meant to do it all in one movement. I think you'll see Hansen, okay, she's going to linger a little bit though. Dino's going to sit a little bit deeper. Try to take a look at some of these attacks to get you some good examples. But a lot of times with the movements, you'll just get them like here, and then up, and then over again. It's more of like a zigzag, it's straighter lines. It's not that they curve their runs on the left wing and right wing, but they're meant to kind of crash the box with that one singular run, whereas it's not the same in this formation, Especially when you've got other players occupying that. And the other problem we've got to talk about this weekend is Shadow Striker. Because it works. It's very good. It's almost... I don't think there's much question that it's quote-unquote the best cam roll. What pressure from Adama there, by the way. But I don't think there's any question that it's quote-unquote the best cam roll. But is it the best for the rest of the team? Because all of a sudden, if Palmer's at cam and he's getting all my goals, am I really involving everybody else so well? Not really, because they're all running forward. And that's where, if there was an inside forward roaming on left mid, right mid, it might be a little bit better. Or maybe a build up, but it's just balance and attack. And so they're a little bit more linear. They're not really like doing those massively creative runs. And so I've got to get that creativity myself. And when they're, kind of coming into support and then crashing the box, and the Shadow Strikers just making a run from deep, and the advanced forward, who I've been using on attack for a lot of these games, I think, and I have to switch over to support. I don't think advanced forward attack works for me. It's not the way to go no matter what. And you'll see advanced forward support used on the other account as well. When I'm able to get more players involved and then just to do this little creativity, that's a little lucky. That's really unlucky on the final kick of the, regulation time there. That Lookman's, it's lucky it bounces to him. This is also lucky it bounces to me. And he's offside, but we got to talk about those bounces again. But, it's poor. Absolutely a chance I lose this game. I mean, if this guy goes and parks the bus from here, passes around the back as it is, it could have been a loss here as a very early game in the actual FUT Champs finals. But we get it back with Hansen, and there's that clever play again. When I'm under pressure, I'm almost a little bit better with it sometimes, whereas when I don't feel under pressure and then I just lose the game late, I'm almost worse with a lead, you know what I mean? When I'm like this, when I'm not, then I'm so much better because I get to control the game. There's a lucky bounce. Again, gotta talk about how many goals are going in, after touching a defender. But as much as I love the Shadow Striker, because you get so much movement from the cam, you get like the occasional creative movement, the AI isn't good enough to give you creativity on its own. Can't believe this was an offside. You can't pull the goalie out. Of course, Palmer's going to stick that in. But the AI is not creative. They make very, I don't want to say consistent. They make very samey runs, same old, same old. They're not really doing anything free roaming. They're not really getting into positions that you get to look at and go, oh, nice little sit down there, by the way. But they don't get in spots where you go, oh, this is a unique situation and I'm actually clever enough to do something with it. No, they always get into like the exact same spots. And that's a little predictable for the defenders to defend against, I think. And then it's a bit forceful. It's almost a little spammy for me. Here you can see it's just kind of getting forward. And this only works because the opponent's a little bit too deep. If they pull their CDMs a little bit more in, they defend that much easier. But it's just that kind of directness. Okay, where's Palmer going? He's going directly forward. It's kind of easy to predict here. Same thing here. It's going to work because he's quick and he's got great shooting and all that, even against the goalie movement. You'll see it on the replay here. There's actually a little pause. Guy moves the goalie all the way over to the side and then kind of moves a little back more towards the center to reset. Palmer sticks it by anyway, though. This, I could not believe that physics interaction. How was that bouncing like that with that much speed? But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's really tough for me right now because a lot of the cams that I want to use are Shadow Striker. The two that I don't are Messi and Foden. And I think, by the way, I'm going to do a review on Foden. That'll be out in a couple hours after this one. But Foden, quite possibly the best card I've used yet this year. I've liked him more than Salah or Palmer. He's just unbelievable, man. I'm telling you. But that playmaker roaming role is so important for me, and you're going to see it towards the end of this weekend. We bring Eden Hazard back in. We'll get Palmer at the right mid. It actually might be the case now. So unfortunately, Hansen definitely deserves to be in the team. She's taking a sideline here because I like Dino's playmaker plus roaming at cam more than I like Palmer's Shadow Striker. And I think you're going to see that a little bit here. Am I taking the direct route here? Immediately, no. It's a little bit more clever. Ademola Lookman's doing that little fake. It's a decoy, and then I get it to somebody else. This one here, Palmer cutting all the way inside, and then it's a better run from Hazard. You're not seeing that kind of run happen a lot when it's Shadow Striker, because that space is already going to be occupied by somebody else. Whereas I think you've even got Gilmore making a run forward here as he's deep lying playmaker roaming CDM. You can see him all the way up the field here too. He's just, and this is great from Palmer, by the way. I can't believe that gets by the goalie. What a move that was. But Gilmore, once again, he is actually getting the shot off here while in the box. He's able to get much more involved. You didn't see any of that while I had Shadow Striker cam. All of a sudden the CDM's able to get into that space. So it's just when it's not guaranteed to be occupied by one player, you've got more players that are able to get into it. And that's what I really need. It's this creativity at the top of the box as you're seeing me just get goal after goal with it. Very repetitive. This is almost the only goal that I have. This one was great by Palmer, by the way. I've got a YouTube short on that one if you want to go watch. It's Sit Down Palmer. Or, Cole Palmer tells you to sit down, whatever I titled it. Ah, the bounces. Oh, the bounces. Okay. Yeah, it's when I'm allowed to do my creativity instead of just kind of relying on the AI to try to do it for me. I'm so much better. So I think I've hammered that point home. But from here on, I'm just trying to wonder what it is I actually want to do with the team. Because this works. Inside forward balance on the wide mids. Cam is playmaker roaming, and then Striker is advanced forward support. It works. It's fine. I can get my games with it. I can get my goals. Every goal looks exactly the same. And again, it's fine. You can't defend against it. It just feels a little repetitive. I'm almost a little bored of scoring the same type of goal over and over. Obviously, it's what I like doing. I like that close control, get everybody, in these specific positions, and then we get the top of the box movement here. This is, again, perfect example. Nice little move up again. And Palmer's really good at that. Despite being so tall, you'd think maybe he's not the most agile. When the defender's a little bit further away, just like this too, you don't need the perfect agility, so him almost being taller, having that longer stride can help a little bit. Can't believe this free kick, by the way. I didn't even bother defending it. I'm like, I don't really see these going at all this year. What a free kick from Messi. I don't know if, is that like a power shot thing? Do you do power shots on free kicks this year? I don't even know if that's a mechanic, but it looked like it. Oh, and that's so forceful. Oh my God. Oh, the bounces this weekend, man. Let me tell you. Because I win this game. That's, I don't think this is a clip where they draw it. I think I end up defending or saving it or something here. Never mind, they do draw it. Okay, so the kickoffs neutralize the bounces because we also have to mention kickoffs are so powerful right now. You score so many of them. I do very well against this guy in extra time. It's always that extra touch. For Inception, if you watch his reviews, he's always like, get that extra pass across the box. For me, it's always just get that extra dribble across the defender. What a save, man, Yashin. Well, that was actually regulation. That one didn't even go to overtime. Never mind then. What is that? Hold on. We have to look at that again. What is that animation from Van der Sar? He like punches this. Not that one. Okay. Never mind. My eyes caught it wrong. I saw him like get up and complain. Never mind. I was entirely wrong. Let's look at that again. Sorry. I thought him getting up and being mad was the actual save animation. Never mind. But okay, we're gonna watch this again. But there was one this weekend. I forget where it was, but there was one where Yashin, I think it was Van der Sar, just does a kind of punch forward. I went back too far. Excuse me. Anyway, we'll leave it off here. And that's how powerful passes are this weekend, or this post-patch. It's just, even when I feel like I'm there to manually intercept, it's just, you're not getting him at all, right? Not getting him at all. Okay, but, okay, let me recall what my thoughts were. So we have, it's just getting it's getting the players in the right spot and making sure I'm doing the right things. So what I want to build from here, I almost want to do target forward or false 9 on the striker. But if I do false 9, which I think false 9 ++ works a little bit more post-patch, the slight buff to the attacking AI might make it a little bit better. But you can't do false 9 ++ and playmaker roaming on the cam. You might be able to do target forward, but there's so few target forwards I actually want to use. You know, I have to go with the ++ role. I don't think I can get away without it. But the actual target forwards, of course, are going to be your Harry Kane, Serhou Guirassy, Lewandowski, that kind of player that you never see me using. I need higher dribbling stats, right? Better body types. But false 9, there's only really one, and it's Pele. But again, to use false 9, I've got to do that shadow striker, which is fine. I guess they kind of just replace roles. The striker becomes the cam becomes the striker. That's something I used to do back in some of the older FIFAs, and it works perfectly fine. But I feel like it's going to interfere with the left mid and the right mid a little bit, and I just don't know. You know, I can't believe that shot from Hazard's left foot, by the way. Sorry, I'll get the little UI element off the screen. But I just don't know quite how to build my team from here. And I know that's like, okay, this weekend we do well. We get most of our wins. You know, the other count does even better, as we're going to see the one and only chance to really get a free kick with Cole Palmer this weekend. Of course, he's going to stick it in. Brilliant free kick there, but a bit wasteful on the dead ball plus. But yeah, it's just this, I don't know, I want that false 9 element, but to go false 9, I lose a lot of the creativity of the shadow striker. I gain all the benefit from it. So of course, the striker vacates, and then you just get much more effective runs through the center, as, you know, the striker's trying to drag out one of the center backs, and then the cam's going to take all the advantage of trying to have somebody vacate that space. But then I'm losing all the deeper build-up that I think is a little bit more fun. It's a little bit better defensively. It's a little bit better for build-up. You know, I'm a little more consistent again, using it that way. Again, some of the high press, offside trap, you know, opponents you still face. All of that kind of stuff. It's just, I can't quite fathom how to make this game how I want it to be. And that's part of what's really frustrating is, I wanted to mention this too, so I've done a couple games of draft for that one objective for the Team of the Year Evo. I haven't done all of them, but a couple. In one, I'm just missing some of the, you know, the role pluses, as you don't get your ideal players. And I'm also doing, I think one I did a 4-3-3 defend, or one might have been I forget what it was. Might have done like a 4-5-1 or something like that. This one. Oh, no. Okay, real quick. We'll get back to the draft thing in a second, but I cannot believe the physics interactions on this one. I talk about it on the Gameplay podcast, by the way, at the FUT Show for the podcast. It's with me, Alexion, IQ, and Steve Stokes. All you can find on Twitter, all you can find in my description. The podcast is on Spotify and iTunes, so absolutely check it out. And I'll talk about this in depth there too, but I have to mention it here. What is happening? Company gets knocked over. I can't do anything. Little goalie movement doesn't get it, but like, this stems because the ball bounces off of me a second earlier too. By the way, I do apologize for taking so much time in these videos for like scrubbing, but if you do know of a better video editor on like Windows or anything, do let me know. I'd love to have more creativity. You just about see it here. So this was a pass off of, what's his name? Off of Torre from Xavi. You don't quite see it. I edited it wrong, but he plays the pass. I don't need to show you these because you know exactly what it is. They play a pass into you, it bounces off of you, it lands back at their midfielder, and then they gain all the benefit of your player being a little out of position, a little bit off balance, and then just they get by you. Like, I do the right defensive action and I get punished for it. Same thing here. I make the defensive play, I get punished for it. Like, what is the problem here? And this is 3-2. I lose this game. It's really frustrating down the wing again, and then I have no idea what to do here. Like, it's a little bit poor as I'm, using R1 and so on to drag him out of position, but then it's the wing again. This is so infuriating to me as you're just going to sprint, it's so boring. I hope they nerf that specifically. It's not that I have a problem with pace, it's just like, that playstyle is so mind-numbingly boring that I don't think it should be encouraged to play. There should be a little bit more creativity in the runs you have to use and all of that kind of stuff. But I also didn't do my best in that game. I'll perfectly admit that. I don't want to learn to defend that style because defending it is unfun. Doing it on offense isn't fun, but also having to do the mechanics I would have to do to properly defend it. I want an actual footy experience. I don't want to do this weird stuff. But it is what it is. The opponent gets the win. I was incredibly frustrated at it there, but it doesn't matter. It literally has no impact on the weekend, right? It doesn't have any impact on my ability as a player. It's just how meta and how spammy do I want to be about that kind of stuff. Speaking of meta and spammy, what a finesse shot that is, Cole Palmer. But anyway, we're talking about this year. So the collision system and all of the bounces like that, and then it's just, that was a clever little play from the opponent, by the way. That's poor from me from Torre too. And sometimes I just watch these back and I'm like, I'm too tired, or I'm just missing things out here. This isn't the best game from me. But it's also so frustrating to lose a game to just some bounces, and now my head's gone in this one. My head is just gone. I don't have any great ability to come back in this one, I think. I've even got some luck here, and then just goalie movement, and hits the post, and that's great. But yeah, the bounces this weekend, I really hope they just fix in some way. I don't know if it's an engine issue or a server's issue or whatever. And that one just an inconsistent first touch on Company, and then he switches which pass it looks like he's going to, or which foot it looks like he's going to use for the pass. Yeah, this one I just get outdone. The goalie movement saves the opponent so many times, and then I do pretty poorly on a couple defensive plays. Really lacking that creativity, though. The extra pass, the extra little dribble, I think it's just a little bit too spammy. But yeah, that's the main things I want adjusted are just, it's not pace. It's more just what kind of playstyle you're encouraged to use, what formations work, what runs are done, because I want them to be creative. I don't just want them to be powerful. I want you to be a good enough player to use it. And the problem with this, the meta where it is just, it's not really being a good player. It's just knowing, 30 seconds before, oh, if I get the ball, I'm going to do this. Even if you're on defense, it's the same counter every time. I already know where the ball's going. It doesn't feel that fun to do. It's very repetitive. It's predictable. It is what it is. But I was talking about that draft stuff, and we'll mention that really quickly as we're almost at the end here. But this year I'm just not able to use systems or formations outside of this 4-2-3-1 for me. So the draft really highlighted I'm so linear with one playstyle. I don't know if there's some other role I can find. That's kind of why I'm encouraged to try to do this false 9 or target forward or something like that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but it really is only the one thing that works for me. I'm not sure if I can find anything else that works or what players I want to fit in. It's just a bit of a weird one. It's a bit of a weird one. I think the main takeaway, though, is I can do so much better. No matter what, I want to make sure that my gameplay is a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable of an experience. I want you to actually be engaged watching. I want there to be something worth experiencing on the screen. Not just the same kind of get the ball down the field and then it's a through ball, it's a shadow striker goal, which you've seen a billion times already. I want some creativity a little bit deeper. I want some unique skill moves or skill runs. I want to involve multiple players in the attack to get these, these unique passing moves, these unique triangles, anything like that. And we're going to do that so much better in the other counts. So for all the talk of false 9 and target balance or target forward or anything like that, I absolutely do it with playmaker, cam, roaming, and advanced forward support. So we'll see, I think, a lot better in the other games. But hopefully you did enjoy all of this, and we're going to get into the packs here. So we do actually get something worth talking about. Do I have the most exciting reaction to it? Well, you'll see, but we get something, so do stick around for that. 13-2 after a phenomenal 10-0 start, definitely disappointing, or 11-0 even, definitely disappointing to only end up with 13-2. I think 15-0 was achievable. We talked about the one goal in that one game that just had those weird bounces that ended up making it 3-3, and that opponent just spammed everything down the wing, and I don't know how to defend that, and I don't face a lot of players who do that, so I'm not sure how I feel. It's disappointing. I feel like I played really well, definitely deserve the 15-0. I'm not going to let it get to me. It's just people spamming stuff, and like you either have to set up really, really specifically to stop that specific spam, or just try to continue playing your prettier play and just let people run through you sometimes. It's whatever, who cares? It doesn't really matter. So it's not like either reward is, or either rank is going to get us anything decent from these picks. So I'm going to assume the informs more value. I don't know though. Probably not actually. Oh well. Oh. Oh yeah. So they are in packs. Well, it's not like she's usable, unfortunately. 5-star weak foot. Everything but deflector. It's a blue. That's the second ever blue that I've pressed the button on. I suppose I can't complain. That is significantly better than anything else I was expecting, so you take what you can get. That will probably be my only one this week, or this whole promo, but it is what it is. Lacazette, Danilo, nothing there. Followed by, yeah, I haven't seen, once again, anybody pack anything from these. Oh well. Are these all? Yeah, we'll just keep them up there for now. And we've got, let's see. So it's not the guaranteed icon. Or are they still doing guaranteed icon? Team of the week not worth doing. Got 2 85-10s and 88 too. Start with the 85-10s. An inform maybe? It's Hegerberg. 89 followed by, let's see. Come on, these animations are so slow. It's Odegaard. I packed one and she's tradable. I mean, I can't imagine she has much value. I'm not gonna really bother looking, but I got one. EA gave me something. And you know what? If I got rank 1, I probably wouldn't have gotten one, so that's what you get for doing worse. Alright, 80, we'll do 8320 next. The one thing I don't like about the player picks is you don't get the, like, I just complained that these are too long, but you don't get the animation. It's nice when you actually get to see the walkout and you get the suspense and the build up and all that. When it just pops up like that, it's like, well, but anyway. Final pack here. Shame. Oh well. We got one. And they're only out till next Thursday, right? So that means we can maybe get them with Div Rivals rewards, but we can't get them with, what is it? Next, FUT, Weekend League, FUT Champs. But hey, at the end, it's a slight disappointment, but I think I got a lot of really good goals. I think I played well. Definitely happy with the team as it was. Probably lacking in the CDM slot more than anything else. I think Gilmore's probably a bit behind the power curve. Torre is not really my type of player. Followed by the fullbacks. I mean, stamina on Benzabaini definitely lets him down, but everything else pretty good. This account will probably have Bale up top next weekend. So we'd have an actual advanced forward plus, and we'll just see how that works. Everything else, though, great. Obviously, I've talked about Dino and Hazard. Both are phenomenal. Dino's a little bit lacking in movement, I think, since the patch. It's just kind of how Cam seemed to be. Cole Palmer, absolute star of the show. When I needed something, it was him. That's a phenomenal record now, as it is. Yeah, great card. Highly recommended, actually. He comes more recommended than Salah. And I think he's like 2.3, 2.4 as we speak, so Definitely a very, very good card. I recommend giving him a try. I think probably some of the best, maybe the best value you can get for that price for an attacker in the game right now. The other question could be like maybe a Vinny card or a 91 Neymar or something like that, but I think Palmer's going to be a little bit more meta. His shooting's phenomenal. Just a couple weird games where we weren't able to get anything going, where it's not like it messes up the whole AI and he doesn't fix that. It's just their offside trap spam or whatever it is, just messes with everything. But it is what it is, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. I'll catch you in the next one, everybody. Peace.